I had to pray for my organist, my catcher. And so I turned to the organist, and I said to her, I want to minister to you. And I reached to touch her, and that woman just went out in the Spirit of God. Her son and another man just laid her out and laid her on the floor. Every time I opened my mouth, across that PA system came the most gorgeous music, heavenly music, and filled the sanctuary. You see, heavenly angels and the choir of God took my music's place. I was in Paris, Arkansas. The same thing happened. I ministered to the organist. The pianist, the organist were under the Spirit. A lady bought one of the tapes that lives there. She came back later and said, Brother McWhorter, you've got to hear your tape. You've got to hear your tape. Every time you opened your mouth to say a word, organ music filled the auditorium and filled the airways, and it's captured on cassette tape. They knew all the music was out in the Spirit. Hallelujah. There was a group of people over in a certain state. They were having a revival very similar to what we're having here. A group of the people, I believe it was 7 of them, wasn't it? 7 people, just like laymen, just like you, said, we're going to go and we're going to clean the church and get it ready for service. So they came into service and they began to, in the church and they began to get everything ready. And when they were through, they began to have just a little prayer meeting and they began to sing a cappella. They had no music. They began to sing a cappella. A man came into the church with a tape recorder in his hand, and he heard him singing, and it sounds so beautiful. It just got a hold of him, and he sat down, and he turned his little recorder on. Now, he had a brand new tape that he had just bought in there. It had never been taped on, but he thought that music, not music, but singing was so awesome, he had to tape it. He taped it. They praised, and they were singing, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. And they were doing it a cappella. And he thought it was great, so he taped it. Finally, when they were through praising and singing, he called them over to him and he said, by the way, I hope you didn't mind words like this. He said, but I taped you singing a cappella. He said, I taped you. I want you to listen to it. It sounded good. He turned the tape on. And when he turned the tape on, the sound on that tape was so awesome that finally they had it inspected by some specialists. They checked it and they said, wait a minute, this tape has not been dubbed. This tape has not been reproduced onto. It only has one set of tracks where it went across the heads only one time. They said something else about the music in that tape. They said the music, the sound is not even of this world. They said that tape is supernatural. While I was in Paris, Arkansas, a friend of mine gave me a copy of that tape, which is a 4th generation. I believe a 3rd generation. 4th generation. Now, people come and say, Brother McWhorter, I want a copy of that tape. Well, I'm going to give you, on this cassette tape tonight, everything that you need. You'll have a span of nothing but that tape playing. I'm just going to shut my mouth and let it play. But I came to a place to where that I said, I'm going to quit playing this tape, and I'm just going to preach about angels. But while I was over on the coast of California, in Reverend Harry Balsam's church, who's an educated man, he's been to what, Princeton and Yale? I mean, he's been to all kind of colleges. Educated, beautiful man of God. I played this tape at the end of the message like I'm going to do for you, and he literally acted like he was going to jump up out of his seat and run to the platform. His people, they just sit up on the edge of their seats. When I was through, he came to me, and very distinguished like, he said, where did you get that tape? I said, when I was back east, a friend of mine gave it to me, a Pentecostal Church of God pastor in the city where I was at. He said, well, I also have one of those tapes. And he said, I have some people in my church, they have family that was there when it happened. I said, well, that settles it. I'm going to play a tape for you, and I'm going to shut my mouth, and I'm going to let the tape run so that you'll have a copy of what's on this tape. And I want you to pay very close attention to the music. Now, every once in a while, you'll be able to hear the voice of the singers as they sing a cappella. But there's something phenomenal happens to that song. Hallelujah, hallelujah. As 7 little church members just made praise and honor to Jesus, lifted up and exalted the King, the angels of the Lord filled the sanctuary.